Hello, and welcome to my tutorial on creating a composite image using GIMP. So I'm going to make a fantasy landscape image. So first things first is I'm going to do File, Open, and I'm going to choose my landscape image. So here's my landscape. I'm quite happy with how that looks. I'm not going to be altering it, so I'm going to lock it here. So now I want to add my planet. So I'm going to do File, Open. I'm going to choose my planet image. I'm going to select it. I'm going to press Control C. Go back to my landscape and Control V. Now in your layer section over here, you'll see floating selection. You want to right click on that and press new layer and double click to change the name. I'm going to change mine to planet. Now for the kind of design I have, I want the dark side to be on the other side. So I want to flip it. So I'm going to make sure my planet is selected. I'm going to go to layer, transform, flip horizontal. Do the same thing again, except this time flip vertical. So now my bright side is here and my dark side is on the other. However, my planet is still a little too big for the idea I have. So I'm going to right click on my layer, go to scale layer, I'm going to change it to 250 pixels. And there we go. Now it's a little smaller. Now the color scheme on my planet still doesn't quite suit my landscape image the way I want. So I'm going to make sure it's selected again. I'm going to go to filters, I'm going to go to light and shadow and lighting effects. Now this little blue dot here is selecting the origin point for your light source. So I'm going to leave it there. And here you can choose the distance, which is going to have different intensities of light that you can add to your image. So I'm going to leave mine about here. Now in the light source you can change the color. So you can have a very dark light, a white light, but I'm going to have a in between white and yellow. There we go. I'm going to have that for the moment. So now I'm going to set my glowing down to about 60, 0.60. I'm going to put brightness down. Now I want to really have the dark side to give a 3D lighting effect. So I'm actually going to put more brightness on. And I'm going to leave shiny and polish how they are. So now when I click OK, it's going to finalize it and alter my image. So there we go. I now have a planet that's now kind of got the yellowy hue that my image has. To finalize on my fantasy image, I'm going to add a flock of dragons. So same as last time, Control C, Control V, and new layer. I'm going to drag it down here. I'm going to lock the planet, and I'm going to call these dragons. There we go. There's many ways in which we can cut them out. For instance, there's the selection tool, so you can trace them out. However, that's going to take too long for my liking, so I'm going to use the fuzzy tool instead. So now you see when I clicked on it, it's selected everything in the same color. However, it's not quite got the outline I wanted. So I'm going to hold shift, so it's going to be constantly changing. And I'm just going to drag it down a bit and let go. And now I have my dragon selected, which I'm now going to press Control X to cut them. I'll press select and select none, so I don't have the outline, and now I can move them around as I wish. Now the same as the planet, they're a little big for my image, so I'm going to change them down to about 200 pixels. There we go. And I'm going to drag them to about here. Now to give a realistic effect of them moving, I'm going to select the dragon layer, go to filters, blur, and add a motion blur. Now you can change these up however you wish, whatever suits your needs. However, I'm going to stick with 4 and 2. There we go. And now to finalize, I'm going to do the same thing I did with the planet and add the lighting effect onto them. edges there. High intensity. Make this a very bright yellow color. I'm going to make it very bright. And there we go. That is my fantasy image completed. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.